What's good, guys? Been a while since I've done a YouTube video. Per usual, I always want my YouTube videos to look super high-end and professional. I used to use my Canon, but today I'm just using my iPhone. I bought a bunch of equipment like this softbox light and some mics, but to be honest, I just haven't had the time to teach myself how to use all the equipment and use the softwares that pair with the equipment. But I want to get on and give some sort of video that helps you guys in your mural career. There's been a lot that's changed since the last video, as things always do from video to video because I spaced these out so long. But just for those of you who are just visiting the channel and don't know who we are, we're Influential Walls. We're an educational mural agency. We connect top-tier muralists to schools and innovative brands across the country. I've had the pleasure of working with the Red Sox, giant tech brands like Accenture, worked with schools all across California, and with artists all across the country. Just a few years ago, I was selling t-shirts on the street. Back in 2020 and 2021, I was trying to start a clothing business. It's called Disorganized Depictions. It has now changed to Influential Walls. A lot of things kind of happened along the journey to take me from artist to muralist to mural agency owner. I wanted to highlight a couple of those lessons that I've learned along the journey and stages that were very pivotal in our career. Last year, the biggest deal we closed in the mural world was $110,000, which was absolutely insane. And this year we were negotiating a huge $220,000 something deal, and unfortunately it fell through, but that's okay. We have a lot of different exciting things happening now, a couple large murals coming up. We have our mentorship program. Kind of moved from muralist to mural agency owner to now educator. So wanted to talk about a couple things that I've learned over the years. The first thing that I really dialed in on and needed to dial in on before getting good at marketing and sales was brand strategy. Figuring out exactly what your artist statement is, what you offer to the world, and what sort of niche you need to operate in. Now, some artists may not agree with me with working in a niche, and that's totally fine. But when you work within a niche, what it does is it allows you to get to know the niche's problems, learn how to speak their language, and most importantly, creates a really strong referral network. For example, we're an educational agency, so we work with a lot of schools. We offer murals to schools from all of our top tier artists, which is amazing, but there are a lot of muralists out there that can paint walls for schools, right? But because we started focusing so much on schools, we're able to offer other packages to schools that other artists can't offer. We do all sorts of things like career days and workshops, and I'm not going to give you guys the full list here, but we do all sorts of different offers that we pair with the mural. Likewise, if you were, say, really interested in the basketball world, right? You can pitch to a bunch of different basketball teams, you can do basketball courts, you can design basketball merch, you could even do designed basketballs. I know there are companies like We Are Round 21 or something like that that do art on basketballs. Say you close the mural for a local youth organization that's tied to basketball. Maybe you get lucky enough to paint a basketball court or even just design basketball merchandise, right? If you're pitching to a company and I'm pitching to a company, let's say we're pitching to the NBA. If you say, I'm a muralist that specializes in working with several organizations rooted in basketball and basketball culture, who do you think is going to win? The person that's painted basketball courts, designed basketball merch, and worked with youth organizations in basketball? Or do you think that I'm going to win, the school guy that works in the mural world, or even just any other generic muralist? When you have that niche call, it allows your customer to bond with you that much more, and it just increases the likelihood that a deal is going to close. That's why I speak so highly of getting into a niche. And we use brand strategy sessions like in mentorship. We're really focused on dialing in an artist's statement, who they're going to target, what their pitch decks are going to look like. All of these things are really important for your brand and the longevity of where your art career goes. I know at the beginning you just want to get a few murals just to get them under your belt, which is totally fine. But you do want to have different brand assets that fit specifically into a niche. That way you're able to close more clients in the niche, get more walls, and really build that referral network. Now, after getting your brand strategy together, you have to focus on the marketing. Marketing is one of the hardest things that artists have to deal with. A lot of artists don't know where to start with their marketing. You hope that, posts on Instagram go viral. Some artists get some leads through like Facebook groups. For us, the bulk of our work comes from cold email marketing. So having a really good script for your niche and being able to get that in front of different decision makers. The trick is collecting the decision makers, knowing who the decision makers are and figuring out how to get their emails. This is something that we also focus on in mentorship. If you guys are interested in mentorship, by the way, we'll have a link in the description if you guys are interested in applying. But anyways, finding the right decision makers' emails, having the right brand assets that make you look very elevated. That's the website, that's the pitch deck. Those things are all so important for allowing you to sell murals. And more so, understanding how to scale your marketing. Because just because you close let's say 2 or 3 deals within a month, if you can't replicate that throughout the year, then it doesn't really mean anything. A lot of artists have this thing where they hope that they get murals through word of mouth, or they do get things through word of mouth, but that's a blessing and a curse, right? Because when you're getting murals through word of mouth, one, you have no idea what the lead quality is going to be, meaning you don't know how much money they're going to have to spend or even what sort of company you're about to work with. And it's super unpredictable. You have no idea when the jobs are going to come. You don't have like a formula for like getting jobs. You're just waiting for them to come to you, right? So word of mouth is a curse in that way, but it's a blessing because you're not spending money or time doing marketing, right? The goal for us is to reduce the amount of time and money spent in marketing through different cold email strategies. So a lot of what we teach in mentorship is focused around automations. So we use different softwares to help us collect emails quickly and then send the emails out very quickly. When you're able to do that, say for example, I'm able to get 500 to 1,000 emails out a week, which we send like 140 emails a day. I think right now we scaled up to 165. But if you're getting out 1,000 emails a week, you have a decent script, decent pitch deck, then likelihood of you closing is super high, right? If you send out 1,000 emails and no one replies or no one's interested, either your art's not very good or your marketing kind of sucks. Like you don't have the right subject lines or you don't have the right email body. Maybe your call to action isn't strong enough. So you just want to make sure that you're able to have that sort of copy, right? A strong copyright, a strong script. And that comes with a lot of testing. We've used a lot of scripts and we know ones that work pretty well at this point now. Now, aside from brand strategy and marketing, so that's niche segmentation, sending out cold emails, figuring out ways to automate your cold emails. The last thing that we learned to really push outside of typical struggle that a lot of artists face, getting really good at sales. Sales is a mixture of psychology and diagnosing your client's problem and being able to propose solutions that position you as an investment rather than an expense, right? So murals are typically fall into a couple categories. One being a branding exercise, 2 being a community engagement exercise, and 3 being a renovation. Now, a renovation for the most part usually isn't worth anywhere nearly as much as something used for branding / brand strategy. I'm gonna go into that in a second. and community building. Those are a lot more value those offer a lot more value to a business than just your average renovation, right? Because the business is going to assign value in looking better and creating space that incentivizes people to come in, or doing some sort of project that allows the community to feel tied to their brand. So if you're able to package your mural with something that allows the community and a brand to come together, that's really where a lot of money lies. So for example, I'll talk about our project with the Red Sox. So originally the Red Sox came to us wanting to do some sort of mural at a school down in San Diego called Hoover High School. And they wanted us to depict some of their players to inspire the kids. We did so, and we wanted to tie a lot of cultural relevance into the piece. So we took Tony Gwynn and Ted Williams and were able to tell a really impactful story, but we had to solve a lot of problems for the client. San Diego Unified School District did not want us painting on any walls. So how did we go about navigating that problem, right? When they say, we love your artwork, but we can't have a mural from you. So what if we do some sort of temporary mural where we do paint on wood panels, and we have someone else install the wood panels onto the wall, but we can make sure that the wood is like really high quality. So it's essentially still buying a piece of fine art that's being installed on the wall. So we set that up, and outside of that, we really wanted to focus on highlighting things with the kids, right? Because the whole purpose was a community building exercise centered around the kids and around the teams, right? So not only did we create the mural, figure out the client's problem, and also propose solutions to the client's problem, which was to do a temporary mural that would be installed that they can easily remove if they wanted to. But we also held a huge PR event around the whole project, right? So we had Tony Gwynn's wife come out and speak. We had different famous baseball players there. We invited the board, students to come and speak. We had the artists speak there. Multiple news sources were there. So this is what really increases the value of a mural, right? Like being able to highlight all of these things that a brand or company is looking to do. That's really what adds value. So don't just think about selling the wall. Think in terms of a brand strategist of how can we use this mural to really elevate your brand and connect you with the community? What are creative ways that we can connect with the community? That's been a huge thing for us that has been able to allow us to kind of move into doing six-figure deals. Lots of different community engagements that are paired with murals, and lots of really creative problem solving. We call it creative deal structure. And one last piece of advice I'll give you guys on the sales side is to get better at negotiating. Don't just give your client one price. Give them multiple options. When you give a client multiple options for pricing, one, it feels standardized, and two, it allows the client to feel like they have accessibility and options. Rather than them getting a price from you and two other muralists, they have three prices that they can go with just you, right? So they can choose which price best fits them. Now, how to package those pricing options and like what to include in those pricing options is going to vary from client to client. And that's where you have to get creative, right? You want to think creatively outside of just the art. You want to think creative in terms of the solutions that you're proposing and different ways that you can make a project that much more exciting for a client. But just wanted to hop on today and offer a little bit of insight as to how to go from artist to muralist and successful muralists, successful muralists that can make six figures or more. So we appreciate your time in today's video, and yeah, catch you guys next time. Peace.